Phuket Extra is brought to you by Coast Beach Club and Bistro at XTRA Grand Beach Resort. Chill in the sun, sip under the stars.
Sawadee krap, and welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by Coast Beach Club and Bistro at XTRA Grand Beach Resort, Phuket. I'm JP Mastanza, and here's the news you need to know. The crackdown on the trafficking of elephants in Phuket continues as officials have taken the DNA samples of 67 elephants around the island, according to the Phuket News. There are over 200 registered elephants at about 23 camps around Phuket, as officials also checked the 32 elephants at the popular Phuket Fantasy tourist attraction in Kamala and the 13 elephants at the Kalem Elephant Camp. Wildlife officials are working to identify all the registered elephants on the island, checking ID certifications and microchip implants, all in a bid to stay in line with international trade agreements between governments to ensure the animals' survival is not threatened. Elephants owners have until January 26 to register their pachyderms or face legal action. For more, visit thephuketnews.com. And a video among Thai netizens shows a knife attack at a market in Phuket town, and it all started because of a pair of trousers. Two teenage sisters entered the stall, one of whom tried on the trousers, but they declined to buy them. That's when an argument ensued and later escalated, with the vendor who grabbed the knife and then threatened the girls, and even cutting one of them in their hands. According to Phuket City Police, the girl did require stitches, but the entire incident was settled with both sides apologizing. And a dozen elderly women are on their way back to Thailand today after authorities say they were duped into becoming beggars in southern Malaysia just last year. Reports say the women were promised jobs in Malaysia by two Thais, and they left for the country in September of 2016. But instead, they were forced into begging in Johor Bahru. The women, who are all over 50, with one being 81 years old, they were all arrested by Malaysian authorities just a month later in November for illegally working, and Thai authorities were on their case trying to get them back to the land of smiles. And the women are expected to be reunited with their families here in Thailand later today. And stay right there, Phuket Extra will be right back after this.
Strength and conditioning classes, Phuket only official CrossFit, yoga, basic and Olympic lifting, mobility and recovery classes, ice baths, saunas and free weights. Go hard or go home.
Welcome back to Phuket Extra. The saga over embattled monk Pradama Jayo has taken a new twist as the National Office of Buddhism is now urging the former abbot of the country's biggest temple to turn himself over to authorities. Pradama Jayo, the former abbot of Wat Pradama Kaya, is facing charges of money laundering and receiving stolen property worth billions of baht in connection with a multi-billion baht embezzlement scandal, and has yet to face the charges. Reports say that officials at the National Office of Buddhism are trying to avoid a possible violent confrontation with authorities, which would cause a black eye on Thai Buddhism, with police and federal authorities having already threatened the use of force. NOB officials met with the Department of Special Investigation and the Department of Religious Affairs, according to reports, all in a bid to minimize any negative impact the situation would have on Buddhism and the country. And finally, as the floods in southern Thailand continue in certain areas, officials are worried over the possibility of losses rising to 120 billion baht if rubber and oil palm plantations continue to suffer. Rubber trees die after 20 days in floodwaters, and oil palm trees die after a month. And officials say that nearly 1% of the country's GDP could be affected if the waters do not drain from those trees. In addition, the floods have also affected hotels in the Gulf of Thailand, with cancellations at about 10 to 20% in the area. The floods have claimed the lives of 41 people so far, hitting 12 southern provinces and affecting 1.6 million people. More heavy rains are expected in the next few days, with officials warning residents in Nakhon Sri Thammarat especially to stay alert and be prepared. And that's it for Phuket Extra today. But before we go, we want to know, would you get into a knife fight over clothes at the market? Let us know in the comments. From all of us at the Phuket News Center, thank you for watching. Until tomorrow, stay classy, Phuket.
Moving? Sending stuff from Phuket? Or maybe you need some important items brought to the island? USPPhuket.com. Put yourself in experienced hands. USPPhuket.com.
Safe Fertility Center Phuket is the international fertility and women's health clinic. We offer diagnosis and treatment of infertility, IVF, ICSI, pregnancy, reproductive system disease, and cancer.